Tim has been given 12 months of unsupervised probation under a conditional discharge order in relation to his pew-pew charge. Tim attended his pew-pew hearing today, and a big shout out to a lovely follower who was present in that hearing and took notes. Thank you for being willing to share your recap. I also bumped those notes up against the conditional discharge document that was uploaded to the docket after the hearing, so we're going to break that down. As always, I am a certified law nerd, bona fide non-attorney. This is not legal advice, just my interpretation of what I'm seeing in the docket. Let's begin. If you haven't seen my previous video, I already broke down what a conditional discharge means and the statutes that govern it, so feel free to check that out if you want the deeper legal explanation. This type of resolution is actually very common for first-time weapons offenses in North Carolina, and in this case, there were 2 misdemeanor charges. Per this conditional discharge agreement, which generally can only be granted once in a lifetime, the court placed him on 12 months of unsupervised probation. Unsupervised meaning there is no probation officer actively supervising him, but he is still legally on probation and must follow the standard probation conditions that are set out in North Carolina law. Those standard probation conditions include things like committing no new criminal offenses, not possessing firearms or deadly weapons, maintaining employment or schooling, and avoiding illegal drugs and complying with testing if ordered. Now, a quick clarification because I know this question will come up. When the law talks about possession, that can include constructive possession, meaning access to or control over a firearm, not just physically holding it. So if there is another firearm in the home, or if somebody close to them is allowing them access to that can constitute constructive possession. Also, there were some specific requirements included in this order. According to this document, there are $388 in court costs and fees, then 25 hours of community service, that the weapon involved in the case be forfeited and disposed of, so he had to turn that in and he's not getting that back. The document states that the community service is in lieu of fines, meaning that the judge chose community service instead of imposing an additional monetary fine. The court costs and fees that are listed are still separate and owed to the court. And when the order says the weapon will be disposed of, that generally means it is forfeited to law enforcement and destroyed or otherwise handled according to whatever agency policy governs that. So what happens next? As long as he abides by the probation rules and any additional requirements that were imposed, at the end of his 12-month probation period, the charges will be dismissed. If he violates probation or any of the requirements, the court can enter an adjudication of guilt, meaning that they would convert this into a conviction and then impose any sentencing that is required by law for this type of charge. The docket also shows a hearing scheduled for June 18th, which is essentially just a status check to make sure he's still remaining in compliance. For now, we can consider this matter largely settled. It is technically not resolved because this 12-month probation period needs to pass, but if there's any changes in the docket or updates, I will keep you posted. I'll catch you in the next video.